On a quiet evening, history revealed one of its most astonishing secrets, a war that lasted a mere 38 minutes. I discovered that the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896, a conflict so brief it seems almost fictional, was fought and ended with such swiftness that it defies our expectations of prolonged battles and heavy casualties. In a world defined by extended campaigns and drawn-out sieges, this event stands out as a remarkable anomaly. My journey into this captivating episode began with a desire to understand how an entire war could be condensed into less than an hour, leaving historians and enthusiasts equally perplexed and fascinated. As I pieced together accounts from dusty archives and vivid narratives, the vibrant setting of Zanzibar, an island pulsing with cultural richness and strategic significance, emerged vividly in my mind. Here, amidst the bustling spice markets and the clashing ambitions of empires, a political crisis escalated into a conflict that would be over before many had even realized it had begun. In the ensuing minutes, the calm of the island was shattered by artillery fire, a dramatic reminder of the volatile interplay between local rulers and an expanding British Empire. Throughout this exploration, I aim to weave together the threads of political intrigue, unexpected military tactics, and the poignant human elements that defined this brief encounter. Join me as I guide you through the layered history, vivid landscapes, and enduring legacy of the Anglo-Zanzibar War, an episode that challenges our traditional perceptions of conflict and timing. In recounting this story, I invite you to reflect on how even the shortest events can leave deep imprints on our historical memory, reshaping the narrative of power, diplomacy, and fate. Thus, with measured curiosity and respect for history's brevity, I set forth to uncover every nuance of this remarkable incident. To fully grasp the significance of the Anglo-Zanzibar War, it is essential to understand the setting in which it unfolded. Zanzibar, an enchanting island off the coast of East Africa, was a vibrant crossroads where cultures collided and trade routes interlaced distant worlds. Its shores had long welcomed merchants from Arabia, Persia, India, and Europe, blending diverse traditions into a unique societal mosaic. Over centuries, Zanzibar evolved into a prosperous trading hub, renowned especially for its spices and slaves, and this economic success attracted the attention of global powers. As European imperial ambitions surged in the 19th century, the island's strategic location became a prized asset in the expanding empires of Britain and others who sought to control trade routes and secure colonies. In the midst of this global contest for influence, Zanzibar was governed by a sultan, a ruler whose authority was both traditional and precarious as external forces pushed to expand their borders. The British Empire, determined to secure its interests and safeguard the lucrative sea lanes, had cultivated diplomatic ties with local rulers, often maneuvering behind the scenes to ensure policies favored their colonial ambitions. The resulting intersection of indigenous governance and European intervention set the stage for a conflict whose sparks would ignite rapidly. Moreover, the political dynamics of Zanzibar were further complicated by internal rivalries and conflicting claims to power. The legacy of earlier treaties, the economic pull of the island, and the unpredictable nature of local governance compounded the tensions. It was in this environment, a blend of intricate local traditions and overwhelming foreign influence, that the events leading to the short-lived war took root. Understanding this blend of cultural richness, economic ambition, and imperial intervention offers a window into why Zanzibar was not merely a geographic location, but a living stage for global power struggles during a transformative period in world history. Examining these layers of influence and power, one sees that Zanzibar was at the crossroads of both tradition and modernity. The island's rulers had long adapted to shifting alliances and the pressures of external ambitions, yet found themselves challenged by the relentless drive of European powers. This delicate balance between local customs and imperial interests created a dynamic setting in which minor disputes could escalate swiftly. As the contest for regional dominance intensified, every decision by local leaders resonated with consequences far beyond the island's shores. This final context shapes our understanding. Prior to the outbreak of hostilities, a series of critical events set the stage for conflict in Zanzibar. At the heart of the matter was a succession crisis, a situation where competing factions brawled over the rightful leadership of the island. Local elites, deeply intertwined with the island's long-standing traditions, found themselves at odds with increasing pressure from British officials who sought to impose a government more favorable to their imperial interests. Amidst the tension, rumors and conflicting reports swept through the corridors of the palace, creating an atmosphere charged with uncertainty and distrust. Detailed negotiations and covert communications characterized the days leading up to the war. Efforts to resolve the dispute through diplomacy faltered as both sides misinterpreted each other's intentions. The Sultan's advisors were divided, each faction clinging to their own vision of loyalty and tradition, while British representatives pressed firmly for a ruler who would ensure stability and economic advantages for their expanding empire. In these volatile moments, every handshake and letter exchanged carried the weight of potential conflict, amplifying the severity of an already precarious situation. The building tension was compounded by external influences. News of unrest from nearby territories further inflamed passions and quickened the pace of decision-making. As local leaders deliberated in private chambers and British officers convened in hushed strategy sessions, the island teetered on the brink of chaos. The political climate was one of rapid shifts, where alliances were as fleeting as the tropical rains, and promises made in the heat of negotiation often dissolved under the scrutiny of time. Thus, in the midst of this intricate dance of power and uncertainty, both sides found themselves locked in a spiral of distrust. Each decision, no matter how minor, fed into a mounting sense of urgency. Conditions reached a tipping point where war became inevitable, setting the stage for a confrontation that would unfold in a breathtakingly short span of time. As the tensions escalated, behind closed doors, secret meetings unfolded with hurried exchanges and anxious looks among influential leaders. Each whisper of dissent and each hurried note carried implications of future conflicts, and the uncertainty bred a palpable tension that could be felt in every corridor of power. The atmosphere was thick with foreboding, as both sides anticipated that any misstep could spark a military response, and the island prepared itself for the inevitable storm. Truly, the fateful hour was drawing near. On the fateful day that history recorded as one of its swiftest conflicts, the stage was set with surreal precision. As the morning light broke over the harbor of Zanzibar, tension hung in the air like a charged storm cloud. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, as the final act in a drama of power and surprise prepared to unfold. British forces, with their formidable naval might and disciplined ranks, had been mobilized with a singular purpose to impose their will upon a situation teetering on the edge of chaos. In an exquisitely choreographed morning, orders were relayed, strategies devised, and positions taken around the harbor. The British fleet, gleaming under the tropical sun, assumed positions with a confident severity that underscored their imperial resolve. Meanwhile, the Sultan's Grand Palace, a symbol of regional power, loomed in the heart of the island, both majestic and vulnerable. The defenders within the palace, divided by internal strife and unprepared for such an onslaught, struggled to coordinate their response. Without warning, British warships unleashed a barrage of cannon fire, their mighty artillery roaring to life. In an almost surreal span of just 38 minutes, the unyielding salvo reduced the palace defenses to ruins. Walls that had withstood centuries trembled and crumbled under the relentless assault, leaving little time for any organized counterattack. Every cannon blast echoed across the harbor as smoke and flame enveloped the once proud edifice. On deck, British officers adjusted their aim with calculated precision, ensuring each firing contributed to the swift downfall of the enemy. The air became thick with the acrid scent of burning structures and the palpable tension of a battle decided by force rather than prolonged struggle. As each minute passed, it was evident that the Sultan's forces could not hope to withstand the overwhelming onslaught. In a display of both modern technology and unyielding discipline, the battle was virtually over within a single, unprecedented heartbeat of combat. The rapid collapse of the palace's defenses was not just a testament to British military might, but also a clear indication of the shifting nature of warfare in a changing world. Historians have since marveled at the swiftness of this encounter, noting that a conflict that might have lasted days was condensed into mere minutes. After the exchange of fire, silence gradually fell over the devastated harbor as the reality of the battle set in. The landscape, scarred by explosions and broken masonry, bore witness to a conflict resolved with a speed that defied all expectations. In the final moments of the conflict, the overwhelming firepower and precise coordination of the British forces left no room for recovery by the defenders. Amidst the swirling dust and rising smoke, the chaotic scenes revealed the stark contrast between traditional fortifications and the modern techniques of warfare. Every explosion in the ancient walls marked the end of an era, and with each cannon shot, a chapter of the past was irrevocably closed. The streamlined efficiency of military technology was on full display, as the combination of advanced artillery and well-rehearsed tactics reduced what could have been a prolonged engagement into a swift operation. In those 38 minutes, the rules of war were rewritten, and history bore witness to a transformation in the art of conflict. This battle, though brief, carried the weight of decades of political maneuvering and cultural strife, encapsulating the relentless march of progress in a single event. Its memory endures as a powerful reminder that even the shortest encounters in warfare can alter the course of history, reshaping empires and leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of nations. Following the brief yet decisive bombardment, Zanzibar was thrust into a turbulent whirlwind of reactions that would reshape the island's future. In the immediate aftermath, the British government swiftly moved to consolidate its influence, appointing new administrators and instituting reforms aimed at stabilizing the region. The shattered remnants of the palace not only signified a military defeat, but also heralded a shift in governance that redefined the island's relationship with colonial powers. Around the wreckage, the local population grappled with shock and sorrow as centuries-old structures of authority crumbled before their eyes. In the wake of the conflict, political reorganization swept through Zanzibar with a sense of urgency. Traditional power brokers, once secure in their long-standing roles, found their influence diminished as the imposition of British authority altered the region's administrative landscape. Diplomatic channels, which had once sought compromise, were rapidly replaced with strategies of control and reform. This new order was marked by swift changes in policies that affected not only the government, but also everyday life on the island, from trade regulations to social customs. The transformation was palpable as foreign administrators introduced measures designed to modernize the economic and social structures of Zanzibar. Cultural reverberations of the brief war echoed deeply among the island's residents. Elders recounted tales of a time when local rulers commanded respect and autonomy, and the sudden collapse of the traditional order left a lingering sense of loss and displacement. In marketplaces and family gatherings, discussions of the war merged with everyday concerns, as the legacy of this rapid military incursion influenced both personal identities and communal narratives. Over time, the scars of that fateful day served as a stark reminder of the harsh impacts of imperial ambition, sowing seeds of both resentment and adaptation among the people. On an international scale, the outcome of the conflict prompted a comprehensive reassessment of military strategies and colonial policies worldwide. Scholars and political analysts later examined the Anglo-Zanzibar War as a case study in the swift application of modern military tactics and technological advantage. The rapid victory demonstrated that even brief conflicts could carry consequences that resonated far beyond the immediate battlefield. In sum, the aftermath of the 38-minute war reconfigured the political and social order of Zanzibar and delivered an enduring lesson on the transformative power of modern military intervention. As the new administration took hold, reforms rapidly reshaped not just governance, but also the daily lives of Zanzibar's citizens. Economic policies were overhauled, and educational and infrastructural projects were initiated to integrate the island more closely with global trade networks. Traditional practices coexisted with modern ideas, creating an environment of both resistance and adaptation. In communities, memories of the brief but tumultuous conflict stirred debates about identity and the meaning of sovereignty. the reverberations of that dramatic event continued to influence local art, literature, and public discourse, ensuring that the legacy of the 38-minute war remained a subject of reflection and dialogue for generations to come. These transformative years left an indelible imprint on Zanzibar's enduring spirit. Reflecting on the Anglo-Zanzibar War, one is struck by the paradox of a conflict so brief yet so impactful. This episode, lasting a mere 38 minutes, challenges our conventional understanding of warfare and reminds us that the scale of human endeavor is not always measured in duration. The legacy of this unusual war extends beyond military records, reaching deep into political reforms, cultural memory, and the evolution of international relations. It is a story that encapsulates the transformative power of modern technology and decisive action, a narrative that continues to inspire debate among historians, scholars, and curious minds alike. In the years that followed, the rapid military action and its consequences spurred profound changes in how colonial powers engaged with territories far from home. The reorganization of Zanzibar's political landscape became a case study in both the risks and rewards of imperial ambition. The dramatic overturning of established order ignited discussions on sovereignty and the rights of local populations to self-determination, themes that would resonate well into the future. Within the vibrant communities of Zanzibar, the memory of that short battle evolved into a symbol of resilience and a cautionary tale of unchecked power. As I conclude this exploration, the enduring lessons are clear. History has a way of compressing time and distilling complex events into moments that continue to teach us about the forces shaping our world. The Anglo-Zanzibar War stands as a testament to unexpected outcomes and the ever-changing nature of conflict. Its memory invites us to scrutinize the past with fresh eyes, to learn from not only the grand conflicts, but also from fleeting episodes that resonate with both tragedy and transformation. The brief flame of that 38-minute war continues to burn as a beacon illuminating the intricate tapestry of our global heritage. In the reflective quiet that follows the echoes of conflict, the lessons learned provide guidance for future generations, reminding us that the interplay between power and culture is as vital today as it was in the turbulent past. May this enduring memory inspire continuous reflection and a commitment to learn from our shared history.